Good evening. You're watching News 14 Carolina. I'm Johnell Johnson.
The people in this community aren't concerned so much with the building.
If taken properly, these little pills are perfectly fine. But the FDA wants to ensure your safety. What we do know is that a black male was shot here at Club Millennium. This is the reason for the crowd you see behind me. It has all sorts of things like a flashlight as well as a radio.
Those who came out say that it's not just about having fun.
Maybe I can give Steve Smith a run for his money. National Weather Service has issued a high wind advisory for much of our viewing area until 1 a.m.
Then the original company ups the stakes in order to call the opponent's bluff. Now, the North Carolina Society is the oldest state society in Washington, D.C.
And some of them aren't quite so good like myself.
And what Yen is doing is taking a picture of my part with an ultrasound.
Now the couple running the mom and pop shop are fighting for their lives. National Adoption Day has been celebrated across the country since 2000.
Saturday, the lines wrapped around the airport all the way downstairs. So a lot of times they will turn a bridge into a bed.
For this team of Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officers, the enemy could be lurking around the corner. That is why they are always armed with training.
3 rounds, combat reload.
Thursday, the Violent Criminal Apprehension Team, or vcat, met at the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police and Fire Training Academy. The team is under the Street Crime Division of CMPD and focuses on arresting those accused of rape, robbery, and homicide.
Not only are you picking up the most violent offenders for these different offenses, but the departments recognize that there's a need for a group of individuals to find them to put the victims at ease.
And to make sure they are on target here, they must first be on target in training.
That's our goal. It's our mission is go ahead and have them identified and bring them into custody as quickly as possible.
The team meets once a month, and Street Crime Division Captain Michelle Hummel says this can mean the difference between life and death.
They train on them, as you've seen today. Training is very important to the entire department, especially in these high liability units. So that training transfers over to what they will actually do when they're out on the street.
The more we train together and practice together, the better we are.
In Charlotte, Johnell Johnson, News 14 Carolina. For the last 35 years, this is how David Siegel has spent his time in the Hickory Grove neighborhood.
I walk just about every day if the weather's permitting.
But now he says he feels safer than ever.
We have a lot of police officers out here patrolling every day.
Officers from the Hickory Grove Division of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department stepped up their patrols in an effort to keep crime down. It's part of Chief Rodney Monroe's plan to put more boots on the streets, and initial results are positive.
We're currently showing a 37% reduction.
Crime numbers for the first month of the year were released Tuesday. Compared to last year, overall crime was down 22%, with property crime, violent crime, aggravated assaults, and burglaries showing significant decreases. The number of murders remained the same. However, rapes were up slightly. In Hickory Grove, violent crimes, personal robberies, and assaults with deadly weapons involving firearms were also drastically down.
All right, y'all guys take it easy.
Police say a strong presence in the community adds up to low crime numbers.
It's a combination of them being there, high visibility, the contact with the possible suspects and potential victims. They talk to everybody they run into.
We're out there every day. We're not letting the crime drive us. We're doing everything that we can to get in front of it and impact it.
We're not chasing the criminals around. We're standing in front of them, and we're saying, not here. And they're just, they don't know what to do with that.
Now, while overall police are very pleased with these numbers, they say they still have plenty of work to do. What they are hoping to do is take some of the things that have worked here in this Hickory Grove community and put them in other divisions throughout the city as well. In Hickory Grove, Johnell Johnson, News 14 Carolina. Matthew Missick is on a mission.
Serve my country and also to advance in a career in the medical field.
That might have been tough for him.
Welcome to the United States Army.
Until Missick became one of the newest members of the military, and he's not alone. For the fiscal year of 2008, more than 324,000 men and women enlisted into various branches of the military, including the Army, Navy, and Army National Guard. For Recruiter Staff Sergeant Charles Ingram, finding new recruits has not been too hard lately.
What you trying to accomplish with the Army?
It's hard not to want to come back with all those bonuses, you know, kind of held you out of debt.
People got more involved because lost their jobs. And Army give you a better frame of mind because dealing with education and dealing with jobs.
By joining, you can get a $40,000 cash enlistment bonus and more than $70,000 towards college. Those are selling points Master Sergeant Lee Rodriguez uses to recruit college students.
It's a good way to go. It really is. The money's there. The stipends is there. It's a monthly allowance for expenses.
Rodriguez is based at UNC Charlotte, but spent Tuesday on Johnson C. Smith University's campus hoping to get more students involved in ROTC. The U.S. Army Golden Knights were supposed to parachute onto campus. The wind grounded their plans. And as for plans to join the military, that's still up in the air for some of these students.
I have a lot to think about. I'm not really sure if that's what I want to do.
Here's one.
Until she decides, Alexis Ford is enjoying her time in JCSU's ROTC program, while Missick prepares to enjoy a future in medicine. In Charlotte, Johnell Johnson, News 14 Carolina. Good evening. You're watching News 14 Carolina. I'm Johnell Johnson. This is the Charlotte area's best source for up-to-the-minute weather, news, and sports. Now here's a look at our top stories. The brutal murders of a convenience store clerk and a customer last month remains fresh on many Statesville residents' minds. Today, people joined together to help the clerk, who was a young mother of 3. Ahead, how friends and strangers alike are reaching out to help a family through the unbearable tragedy. And a fire completely destroys a Mint Hill home this morning. Now a family of 12 is left without a place to live. Up next, how they're doing and what neighbors are doing to help them through this difficult time. And adopted people who want to find their birth families are getting some help from the government. A new law that went into effect on January 1st may make it easier. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, here's a check of your weather on the One's forecast. A Statesville family who lost a loved one in a December shooting is getting some neighborly help. 28-year-old Jennifer Vincic and 52-year-old Jeffrey Peck were gunned down last month during a convenience store robbery. Vincic left behind 3 young children and a fiance. But News 14 Carolina reporter David Canoto shows us the family has plenty of people to lean on. Fundraiser organizers say they hope to raise at least $20,000. They plan to coordinate another event in the near future. An early morning fire destroys a Mint Hill home and leaves a family of 12 without a place to call their own. Mint Hill firefighters tell us the fire broke out around 8 this morning. In just minutes, the fire engulfed the entire house. Chris and Lynette Battle and their 10 children were just waking up when the fire broke out. Everyone made it out of the house safely. And while the fire is still under investigation, Chris and Lynette believe an unattended candle may have played a factor. The Battles moved to Mint Hill from Maryland 2 months ago. They say the entire neighborhood is rallying for the family. One neighbor even brought the family to his house until they were able to make arrangements. There's still much more to come here on News 14 Carolina. Coming up after the break, about a dozen people braved chilly morning temperatures to hike for a good cause. Up next, we'll tell you about the first ever hike for habitat. And we'll also get another check of your weather on the One's forecast. Don't go away. News 14 Carolina, we'll be right back.
Well, Heather, actually, police and the bus just left a few moments ago. They have officially cleared the scene, but earlier today, the bus was pretty much in the middle of traffic, and police officers were right here trying to investigate, figuring out exactly what happened. Take a look at some video that we shot earlier this afternoon. And what we know is that it happened around 4 p.m. The bus driver was traveling west on Remount Road, and the girl was headed north on Tryon Street. She was in the crosswalk when she was hit by the school bus. Police say right now it appears to be just a tragic accident. Now, at the time of the accident, the tractor trailer was blocking the view of both the girl and the bus driver. So right now there are no charges pending. We spoke to police, and here's what they had to say. Now, at the time of the accident, there were about 6 children on that school bus. We do not know where that bus was coming from, but those children have since been taken home. Live in South Charlotte, Johnell Johnson, News 14 Carolina.